Morning, 11:32 a.m. Just woken up, got home at what time? 7 from my 24-hour road trip to pick up the new shell. 8 days to go, telling you to have everything from this one into that one, and it running, driving, ready to do burnouts. So, plan today, strip the shell down to absolutely nothing, interior wise, cradles out of it, all that sort of stuff. Make some dollies for it to roll on, and then get it out of the way, either over there or over on the yard over the other side of the house. But yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so the strat is, I want to yank motor box out together, and then once that's out, it'll be super easy to drop the rear cradle, because I will have detached the tail shaft and gotten the exhaust out to be able to get the motor and gearbox out. Good news is when I crashed, the engine mounts are no longer connected, so I won't even need to undo those. Two less things I need to do. But yeah, I don't have any drain trays at the moment to drain the gearbox oil into before I do yank this out, and I don't have a gearbox bung here. So what I'm going to do is start stripping, I'll get the fuel lines off, the wiring harness off, and get that motor ready to properly come out, get the circlip out of the gearbox, out of the shifter, get the shifter out, get the slave cylinder off, all that sort of stuff. And then I'll get Bridget to grab me 2 drain trays. As soon as she gets back, I'll drain the gearbox, and then I can literally just undo the gearbox cross member, put chain around the motor, up and out it comes, and then I'll work on getting that cradle out. Once that's out, I can sort of have everything over the side here, and then strip the interior, and then I'll get the front K-frame out as well. Then once that's done, I can move this shell out, move that shell in, and start piecing everything back together on the new one. Engine harness is off. Brake booster line, vacuum line's off, all the accessory looms off, fuel lines are off. All I'm waiting for, coolant lines are off at the back of the head. Now all I'm waiting for is a drain tray to get here so I can drain the the power steering fluid. Once I do that, I can disconnect that line. I'm about to slide under the car and disconnect the clutch slave, and then once that's out of the way, all I need to do is undo the tail shaft and get that line off, and then we should be basically ready to go up. I've just jumped in the car to take the shifter out with some circlip pliers, and you can see how bent things are. That shifter is usually center, obviously, and yeah, that's all the way over to the driver's side of the car now. So yes, I'll grab some snap ring pliers, pull this circlip out, pull the shifter out, then I'll undo that clutch slave at the bottom, get the tail shaft out. I should be able to get it out without the gearbox leaking fluid anywhere, and then once that's done, I've got to wait for Bridget to get back with some drain trays to drain that power steering line, and also drain the gearbox. So in the meantime, I'll either start pulling the interior out, or I'll drop the rear cradle out of the car. Let's keep ticking away, guys. 1:53, getting a fair bit done. I've made some makeshift drain trays. Power steering's in there, gearbox oil's in there. It's actually a little bit alarming how little gearbox oil came out of it, so it's probably good I'm checking this. That's like a 2-litre thing, and it didn't even fill that up. Pretty sure SR boxes take like 2.5 to 3 litres. But yes, I'm going to drain the diff as well, probably into one of those. Be good to have fresh oil and everything when it all goes back together. But yes, just undone the gearbox cross member. Selector's out, everything's disconnected. I think I usually find out pretty quickly once I pull the motor back and I go, that's still connected. But yes, crane's on there. Massive thank you to Jake Jones Drift Squid for lending me this. We've ordered an engine crane, but it's obviously on the way. And he's like, dude, just come and get mine. I don't need it at the moment, and just bring it back whenever you're done with it. So massive thank you to him. Let's jack this up and get this motor out. Motor and box are out. Should be able to see the extent of this bend now. Yes, it's a little bit hard to see before, but It's usually actually got a bend that's going that way, so that should actually be going that way, but it's kind of going not that way. Both engine mounts ripped off. Pretty wild. Yes. Let's move this into an area where I can gurney it and it's not going to stay in the concrete. Maybe on the grass over there. If you guys didn't know, or haven't watched my previous vlogs, I actually bought this motor from Up Garage. It was an automatic motor. The motor that came in this car was dead, but there was something wrong with it. The oil feed for the block, for the turbo just there, was snapped off. But if you want to catch up on that, you can watch my previous vlog and see me weld that back together. Now that that's out, you can see how bent this rail is. See how it's absolutely pushed that way after going back and then sideways when it couldn't go back anymore. It's pulled all the rail off. But yeah, let's yank this rear cradle out and then we'll focus on getting the rest of the engine harness out. And then once that's out, rear cradle's out, I'll start stripping the interior because I have to take the whole dash out to get this main wiring harness out. Also need to get the main body harness out of the car so we can start putting it all in that. Thankfully that's super bare. Would have been nice if it was like a little bit more together, but beggars can't be choosers, so let's get this rear cradle out. Cradle's out. I've left the brake lines in there because I'd like to get some braided ones, but worst case scenario I'll just yank them out. So now I'll just reorganize all this stuff into a nice pile, do a little bit of a sweep up and a clean up, and then I'll get into pulling the interior out, getting the tail lights out, getting the fuel tank out, bits and pieces like that. So yeah, lots to do still today. I'll just keep pushing as hard as I can until I kind of run out of daylight. That's the only hard thing about working here, is that there's no light out here, it's outside. Don't want to annoy the neighbours. So yeah, I can't keep banging away in the shed till, 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. So get as much done as I can until the sun goes down. And to be honest, it's kind of ideal because it forces me to have a rest. I'm not very good at doing that when I've got lots of stuff to do. So yeah, I'll keep chipping away at this. Still got to get the front K-frame out with all the suspension. See if that subframe is bent. The cross member itself, sorry. Then I've got to get the caster arms out, caster arm brackets out, see if they're bent. Looks like the whole rail actually moved back in one piece. So from there to about there is really strong, so that's all moved back. And then it was actually pushing this back, and when that couldn't go back any further into the car, this actually came towards me. So it actually sort of went back and then in, and so you can see on this side, actually there's the camera kind of straight. The rail actually kind of goes outwards and then straight, and then actually back inwards here. This one actually goes super inward there, and then super sort of I suppose it probably has the illusion that it goes outwards, but it's actually just because that's super in. So yes, crazy. I don't know if you guys can sort of see how bent that is on camera, but it's very bent. It's pushed the strut tower so far over that it's massively dented the strut tower on the brake master cylinder. It's bent this whole rail, this whole top sort of rail in, unstitched that, and in doing so, as that's gone in, it's actually caved that down in there. So my wipers, that doesn't even touch anymore because it's sort of bottoming out on here, because that's gone down and in, so that it would need to all come back out. If I was to ever use this shell again, this would obviously need to all go straight, and then I don't think I could ever straighten that rail, and even if I could, I'd need to massively plate it, so it'd more be worth just sort of unstitching sort of along that line there, and then unstitching the rail out of underneath the car, and then sort of re-welding a whole rail in there. But I mean, how much effort do you want to go to? The hardest thing is these things are getting hard to find, and when you do find them, they're wrecked, and they're still expensive even when they're wrecked. So yeah, but making big progress. Let's keep going. Probably only got another three and a half hours of sunlight left, so keep smashing this out until we're as stripped back as we can be, and then I'll assess what I can use and what I can't, and then I'll have to get a big order going tonight. Probably a big GK Tech order, I'm thinking. Hopefully they can get it to me in time. The guys from Phoenix have sent me out a new intercooler and a new radiator. Massive thank you to them. As you guys know, I run their Phoenix stuff in all my cars. It's not a hard product for me to advertise because it works amazing. Massive thank you to Phoenix. If you do need an intercooler, radiator, oil cooler, those guys can sort you out. Alright, let's keep going. Just vacuumed out the interior, started to get the seats and everything out of it. There was glass everywhere from Bridget's passenger door window exploding. So yes, coming along. Let's start getting this dash out. Well guys, it's just started drizzling rain, so I'm just gonna packed everything kind of undercover, and I am going to jump into the interior and then just keep trying to get all this dash out. Once I get that dash out, then I can unplug all the plugs and get this body harness out. And then once that's out, I can get the dash bar out that supports the dash. Once that's out, I can pull the carpet out. Well, I need to pull the cage out first actually. Then I can pull the carpet out, and then the body harness that runs from this side of the fuse box into the back for the tail lights. And then that'll be the interior basically stripped out. Then I can finalize little bits and pieces on this. Actually, I still need to get the fuel tank out. And then once that's done, I'll probably unscrew the quarters. I don't think I'm going to put quarters on that at the moment. I'm not too sure. But yeah, realistically, I'd like to unscrew the quarters. Oh, maybe I'll just leave them on there. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've kind of umming and ahhing what to do with this shell at the moment. So yes, let's get cracking in this interior. That's what we're looking at. Dash is just about to come out. It's all pretty loose. I might not have everything out yet, but it's looking like we've got a fair bit of movement. So yes, see what else needs to come undone, and we'll undo it and then get this out. Dash is out. Now to start disconnecting all this wiring harness, so I can pass it back through there, as you have to do it this way and pass it back through that way, or you have to unpin the engine bay fuse box and pass it back through this way. And I'd rather just actually I might look at the fuse box, because I've never done it that way. It might be easier, but the way I've done it in the past is like this. I actually stripped my first S13 when I was 17, 35 this year, after I crashed it trying to do donuts at a T intersection. It was sick. It was like the smallest damage in the world, but I knew nothing about cars back then, so I was like, it's written off. And it was literally like a tiny front end hit. I would have fixed it in half an hour with the knowledge and tools that I have now. But I wouldn't know the things that I know today without those things happening. So yes, let's keep pulling this apart. Just having a look at this wiring harness now, and I forgot that because it's 180 it also has the other wiring, the fuse box over the other side for the headlights and stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to undo the whole dash wiring and feed it all back out this way. So keep going in here. After I get that out, I'll set that as my goal, and then I'll call it a day here. Well guys, wiring harness is almost out, well the body harness anyway. Got it all disconnected out the back to here, but at this stage I need to take the cage out so I can move the carpet enough to disconnect this part, and then I'll need to unbolt the actual dash mount, and then I can take all the wiring harness out and take the carpet out, and then that's the interior done. Here's the body harness for the front of the car. That's all out now. Massive day getting it done. We will be back into it tomorrow. This is the stash of parts. So first thing in the morning is get that body harness out of the way, get that dash bar out, get the carpet out, get the cage out, then finalise stripping what I need in the engine bay. Once that's done, I will take the front K-frame out, make up some small little brackets with some wheels on them to put the shell on the ground, and then I'll roll this out of the way, get that one off there. Don't know how I'm going to do that yet. Roll that one into here, get it up on jack stands just like this one is, and start piecing that one all together. The guys from GK Tech reached out to me, and they're like, yo, we saw you crash. If you need any parts, reach out. So a massive thank you to them. I've put a small shopping cart together. That will help me immensely in getting this sorted. Obviously I need small things like engine mounts, which these are torn off. So I've put a small list together. I've torn the brake line in half. So yeah, I've got a list of bits and pieces coming that will help make this shell, well, the new car, so much better than what it was. Got some a cradle bracing kit to come, some cradle risers, some lower control arm bracings. So yeah, this should go back together as a bit of a rig. So I'm very excited. Can't wait to get back into it tomorrow. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hope it's been entertaining, and I will see you guys tomorrow.